Hi, Kitchen Kings and Queens. Okay, today we are going to look at some of the things that I got at a sale that I went to. So I'm going to give you a little interlude here and show you some scenes from the sale. The sale was at a warehouse in Millville, New Jersey. The company that owns All-Clad is a larger French company called Groupe SEB. And I actually have one of their pots when they used to make their own pots, but they are now pretty much a company that owns a bunch of brands. So it's a conglomerate that owns a lot of different houseware brands. So the brands that are the most common and the most significant in their portfolio is All-Clad, and that was the primary uh, load of the sale. They also own a French company, Dubier. You've seen the pans that I have from them, the crepe pans. So we'll look at what I got with that. And then they also own Roventa, which is a German company that makes irons. They own the small appliances Dash, and they also own the other cookware brand called Tefal, which is, I believe, a French cookware company. These are their flagship brands, and the sale was very heavy on All-Clad. In fact, the banner outside the the warehouse, it said All-Clad factory sale. So that was really the key items that they had there, and they had everything All-Clad. I was really there for two reasons. One for curiosity and one to get my brother some birthday slash Christmas presents. So I'm going to have to ban him from watching this video. Not that he has time with my 1 year old nephew running him around, but he is banned from watching this because I don't want to spoil the surprises for his birthday, which is coming up this week, and also for his Christmas presents. So let's take a look at the sale and then we'll come back and take a look at what we got here. Okay, Kitchen Kings and Queens, we are in a special All-Clad sale at the actual company that owns All-Clad, which is a French company, Groupe SEB, and we're going to see what they have here, see if we can find some deals. There's a lot of other brands. We have some Tefal here. We have some Dubier, which is one of the brands they own. I'm gonna check out the prices on those. I'll get the little non-stick here, and then we have some stainless butter on there, some stock pieces here. This is one that my brother was looking for, so I think I'm going to get that for him. Is this like everyday pan? This one, paella pan, pretty cool. French skillets. Yeah, I'll get him this French. Great deals
especially for some of these hard to find pieces like this 14 quart or 14 inches, 119. It's like half price. Unique ones here. This is the brush line. This is the D5 line, which is the much higher line. Weird. This is what I was looking for a while ago. The 12 quart stock.
No, you guys are fine. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move.
Copper core. That's all the All-Clad. Here's some walks here in USA, which is a Latin brand. Some All-Clad beef brand.
It's all good. I'm not. Yeah, the ones I have are fine.
All-Clad fondue set. GPA. Some random All-Clad accessories here. These measuring cups are really good. I have a couple sets that have like in a regular size too. I don't know if they have it. That's just the regular measuring size. But they also have like a off size. I don't know if they have it here. I'm gonna head to the clearance.
Okay, so I hope that gave you a little sneak preview of what the sale had to offer. I really didn't know what to expect. And I will say this before we get into this, I'm going to compare this sale to the Sambonnet Rosenthal sale that I went to at the other warehouse. They're both in New Jersey, and they're similar types of companies. They own a portfolio of related companies. Groupe SEB actually owns a lot of other companies that were not represented there, and that was kind of what I was curious about with this was if they would have stuff from WMF, which is a German company, Kaiser, another German company that they own. Uh, what else did they have? Crampus, which is a French crepe equipment company. So they own a lot of these these commercial or industrial companies as well. And that was what I was hoping to see a little more of. They did not have that. And that's one of the things that I really love about the Rosenthal Sambonnet sale is that they have a lot of surprises there. So they have Rosenthal, they have some Paderno, they have some Sambonnet things, but they also have all these other little companies that they have, and there's little pieces and little odds and ends. So that was what I was kind of hoping was there. But this sale was really primarily an All-Clad sale. All-Clad was definitely the star of their lineup. There was a lot of T-fall. There was a whole lot of Dash. I didn't even look at that because I don't really have interest in those, but there there was a huge section of that. There were great deals on sets. So if you are looking to get an All-Clad set, this is the place to go. They were way more than half off the sets, and it was really good deals for that. But I have a really significant collection of All-Clad, and I think that might be our next video is to look at that collection. So I really didn't need a whole lot. But my brother is moving into a house nearby. He's moving from his smaller house in the city to a much larger house with a much larger kitchen. So I really wanted to get him some things that I know he needs and I know he'll like, and things that will help him to build up his collection of All-Clad. And we we got his when he bought his furniture for that house. He bought it through Bloomingdale's, and he got the gift cash that they give you, and that's where he got his All-Clad set. And then I've got him little pieces here and there. So I picked up things that I know he likes, or I know that he could use, or I know that might be helpful to him. So let's start with his pile. So this is his pile, and this is my pile. So I got him. This was a great deal. Oh, the other thing is the boxes are nondescript. Interestingly enough, they're just reverse. They just reverse the boxes that they use. So if you look on the inside the box, there's a box in there. So this is the French skillets, okay? And these skillets they have these nice slope sides. They're deeper than just a regular frying pan. I really like these. And for Christmas this year, I actually got him a 14-inch of this. So I know that he'll be able to use this pan for eggs, and it's just a really good sized pan. And it was a really good deal. It came in at, what was that? $39.99, $40. So for $40, you get a great piece of All-Clad cookware. So that was one thing I got him. This is something that he really, really wanted. This is what I got him, that the 14-inch skillet for, because he wanted this pan. This is called a chicken fryer. Okay, so it's deep. It's like about a 10-inch size, and it's four quarts is the capacity. But this is used. The reason why they call it a chicken fryer is because it's used to fry chicken. So you can put pieces of chicken in there to fry, but it's just a really good pan. You could do pasta sauce and then cook it in there. It's just a great pan. And this one not only came with the pan, but this one also has a lid. So I know that he's going to like that because that's what he wanted. So I think those two I might bundle together, and they may be a Christmas gift. I don't know. Knowing the way I am, I'm just going to be really excited, and I'm just going to give it all to him this week for his birthday. But those two I had kind of put together as one present. Then this is what my mom suggested that I get for him, and they had a great deal. This is the outdoor cooking set. So because now he's going to have a larger yard, there's a patio right off of the kitchen. She suggested that I look into getting him the outdoor cookware. And this is a great set. It's got a flat, open-sided sheet, basically like a sheet pan for the grill that's perforated. There's a round pan that's perforated, and then there's this rectangular one. So this is really good. It's great to do roasted vegetables on the grill, shrimp, anything that's small that could go through the grates. These act as like a pot or a pan to cook those things on. So I got that for him. This was $89.99, so $90 for this set of 3 pieces. And these are made in the U.S. The ones that are in these brown boxes, they're the real deal U.S. made All-Clad, the ply cookware. The stuff that's in the decorative boxes, that stuff is all the imported stuff. Usually it's just stainless, so this is all just stainless. It's not tri-ply. Anything tri-ply or 5-ply they make in the United States in Canonsburg. So this was kind of, I was talking to the guy before we started. So a little bit about the sale. When you're coming in, there's a line to get in the parking lot. They give you the instructions and they give you a little card that has your number. And each group is let in by that number. So the group that they were letting in was 8, but then they opened it up to my group, which was 9. And I was only waiting for 5-10 minutes. So it was very quick to get in. I was there about a half an hour after the sale started. The sale started at 9. By the time I got there, it was like 9:30. So that's kind of the logistics. Then they give you a cart when you go in. Everyone was very nice, very friendly. It was a lot of support there. And then you go through and there's basically one aisle. And this is very similar to the Sambonnet Rosenthal sale. It's just part of the warehouse is blocked off. It's like a hallway. It's an open space. There's tables on either side. At the Rosenthal Sambonnet one, there's a table kind of in the middle, but this one, there were just tables or piles really on either side of the hallway. And you saw it in the video. So that it was really well orchestrated. And this is the first time they've had this sale. Usually the sale for All-Clad is out in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, which is in western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. That's where the factory is. So that's usually where they have their sale. So they have that twice a year, and that's a huge established sale. This is the first time they've had this sale in a long time at this facility. So it was very well done for it being the first time they've had it. Okay, so let's go on to what I got myself. I'm going to put this aside because I'll talk about that separately. They had some of the All-Clad stainless steel and aluminum cleaner, so I got that. I've never used this. I use Barkeeper's Friend, but I find that the products that they make formulated for a manufacturer are usually really good cleaners. They do a really good job of the specific manufacturer. For Calphalon, they used to have a cleaner polish called Dormon. I had it when I had my apartment, probably somewhere in my parents' shed with the rest of my Calphalon collection. It's probably in there, or it just got lost in the move from 25 years ago when I was in my apartment. But that cleaner was really good. It was polished, it was formulated, and you can supposedly get it, but the company that has it on their website doesn't, you can't get anything through the site. Like the website doesn't work. They don't they don't answer the phone, they don't answer the email. I think the company just went under and the website is just a ghost website at this point. But I can't say that to be sure. I don't know why you would keep paying for a domain if you're not selling your products, but whatever. Anyway, that product really did a good job of polishing and shining and cleaning that anodized aluminum of the Kaufland. I'll talk about that when we do the episode on Kaufland. Okay, so I was telling you that another brand that they own is the French brand Dubier. And this is a French company. Groupe SEB is a French conglomerate. This is their U.S. headquarters, and All-Clad is their most known brand in the United States that they own. So that makes sense why it was heavy on the All-Clad. Plus, it's the best. Certainly, in my opinion, it's the best, and it's definitely a draw in for people because the sale in Catonsburg is all clad, and it is huge. It's a major event. It's held at the fairgrounds for Washington County and in Pennsylvania. So it's just this really big event. So this, I'm sure, is small peanuts compared to that one. Anyway, so this is the French company Dubier, and this is what they kind of this is their specialty. They make carbon steel, and this one is it has a little B here. The reason why it has a B is because this uh, steel interior and exterior are coated in beeswax to preserve it. So this plastic or paper is meant to keep the pan from oxidizing because this isn't stainless steel, it's carbon steel, which is similar in behavior, certainly in terms of oxidation and rusting, to cast iron. So you have to season it, and these are usually coated to protect them. So this is coated in beeswax. And before I started the video, I was reading the little thing here. They actually, at the factory in France, they actually set up a bee colony so that they can make their own wax. So I thought that was pretty cool. So what I'm going to have to do to this pan is I'm going to have to take about just a layer, coat the bottom with a layer of oil. And then we're going to heat up the pan till the oil smokes. Then I'm going to take a paper towel, wipe it out, wipe the exterior, and then I'm going to heat it up again. And that's just going to create a coating on there. It's also got the beeswax, which is natural and food safe. So that will kind of bond with the oil and it'll make a natural coating on there. And the coating is very much like non-stick. If you saw the episodes where I've used my crepe pan, I think it was the crepe soup that I made, the Abruzzese crepe soup. That was where I did the crepes. Actually, I did a couple episodes with crepes. So that's that pan. And they had, I was hoping they would have more of that. This is what I was hoping for, that they would have a lot more of stuff for this and better deals for it. I have to say, the discount on this brand was not very good. There was very, very, very small discount for these products. And, they're imported from France and there's tariffs, so I can imagine that that's probably why they weren't marked down as much as they would be. But these were, it was a good price. This was $49.99, so $50, but originally $75. If there were not tariffs, I'm sure it probably would have been a greater discount. But with the tariff burden on the products that are from France. It I just don't think they could discount them that much. So then we're gonna go on to the one All-Clad piece I got. All-Clad, like I said, I have a huge collection. That video is gonna be a long one. Um, so this is the piece that I got because I don't have this piece. So this is a paella pan. And I'm going to forewarn you, I can see in the reflection that I think the mailman's coming. So Roxy may freak out. So I apologize in advance if she freaks out. But this is the paella pan. And I have a pan similar to this, but it's only like 10 inches. I think it's called like an everyday pan or something like that. But this I really like. It's deep, it's wide, it's a 16-inch, or I'm sorry, not 16. It's a 14-inch pan, and you could do a lot with this pan. You could do like a big dish. Of course, you could do paella. I actually have a carbon steel paella pan, and I think when I make paella, I'll use that instead, just because it's more shallow than this one. This one's very has a like a nice depth, like a depth of a normal pan. So I was really looking for this. There was a similar pan to this called an everyday pan. I Now that I think about it, probably the only difference between that pan and this pan was that this the everyday pan that they were selling had a lid. And that one was like, this was $99. That was like $124. Um, because I wanted to make sure I got the stuff for my brother, that's what the focus was. So I got the cheaper pan for myself, and I think it's fine because I have the 14-inch uh, skillet, and that one I have a lid for. So I have a lid that can work for this. I also don't foresee whatever I'm making in here to need a lid. So I think it's good that it is open like this. I think it'll serve my needs fine. So I made the right choice. But not only did I do it for that, I wanted to make sure that I got the things for my brother because that's really what I was there for. Um, I can always go to another sale and see what I can find. So that's what I got at the sale. It was fun. My mom woke me up very early, and I was able to get down there at an earlier time than I would have had I slept. So it was a lot of fun. It was not close, but not far. It's in a weird part of New Jersey. So I live right outside of Philadelphia, and New Jersey kind of goes underneath, like it kind of merged, like the lower southern part goes kind of under Philadelphia and where the Delaware River is, and then it kind of like parallels Delaware along the river, and then it opens into the Delaware Bay. So this is like a very there's nothing there. I mean, this is where the Garden State in New Jersey, being the Garden State, is. It's all farms and farm related processing plants. There were like a lot of fish canneries there. There's a lot of all the big tomato companies are there. Cento, Tudoroso, they're all from that area of New Jersey. And a lot of the tomatoes are grown there. So it was a very nice drive. But it was long, and it was like far. I could have gone to the beach if I if it was a nicer day, I probably would have kept going because it wasn't much farther to go to the shore. But also, interestingly enough, there that area is a big glass making area. There's a town there called Glassboro. There's another one, Vineland, and then the town that this was in, which was Millville. And that was the U.S. headquarters and operations for another French company, a French glass company called Arco-Rock. And they had a big facility there, their corporate offices. And so I'm curious if they do like a factory sale because they make those glass bowls that I was showing you. They also make just nice glasses and stuff. They make industrial glass too. In fact, my friend Lisa, her dad, that's what his job was. He was a master glass blower and he did contract work for government glass blowing. So it's an interesting part of New Jersey, and I'm sure it's an area that most people don't go to in New Jersey because it's just it's just kind of off to the side. It's not somewhere that you would go to unless you were going to the southernmost shore points. And even those you would probably go on the highway. So there wouldn't really be a need to go there. But those are the big towns that are on the way between Philadelphia and the shore points of like Cape May and the Wildwoods and things like that, and the southernmost shore points. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you, when I was at the thrift store a couple weeks ago, they had this Hunschenreuter, which was another company that's owned by Rosenthal, so part of that Rosenthal Sambonnet. Uh, they, I I saw these and I was like, oh, and I flipped it over and I saw the marking and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. There were 10 of these and they are just great. They're porcelain, fine porcelain, so that's really good. But they have like this really fun, very useful shape. There's so many things that you can do in this. I was just watching another YouTuber that made a baked apple, and I she did it in a Corningware, like a little petite Corningware. And I was like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect. Like an apple would fit so perfectly in here. So I got 10 of these. They were $1.50 each. Again, where the heck can you get fine porcelain, German porcelain, let alone anything for $1.50? So hit your thrift stores, flip some plates, and you may find some surprises. Another coworker of mine who knows that I love to thrift, she was telling me about. She lives in South Philly, where I have my old apartment, and they just opened a thrift store there, a Second Avenue thrift. And she was telling me, "Oh, I was thinking of you. I got these glasses." And I was like, "Oh, I thought they were like these Ralph Lauren glasses that I got." She looked them up. They turned out to be Baccarat crystal, and they were $350 for the pair. So that she probably paid like $5 for. So, you know, thrifting is a really fun, and as long as you keep it in check, it can be a very fun, very lucrative, and very uh, satisfying shopping experience. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You're never going to go looking for something. I mean, you could have a general idea, but you'll never be like, "Oh, I'm going to get blah blah blah," because you just never know what's available. Okay, so my conclusions about this sale: it is well worth the trip if you're in the Philadelphia or even the Northeast part of the United States. It's worth the trek down, especially if you're looking to start your All-Clad collection, expand your All-Clad collection, or get a set. The sets there, of course, I didn't need them, but the sets, man, they were super discounted. So a friend of mine, she has the shore house in Wildwood, and she wanted to get a set of All-Clad for her place in Wildwood. And I called her up right away afterwards and said, when you're ready, you got to go to that sale, because the discounts on the sets, they were like half price, 70% off. That was what they were talking about when they were talking about the 75 or 70 up to 70% off. Those were the things that were really discounted. And, that makes sense because they have a lot of pieces. The more they could sell, the greater the discount they could give. And uh, they're higher ticket items. These things are, they're one offs. You're just buying them. So the discounts on them are not that great. I have to say they were pretty good. This being $99, that's a steal. This one, this is a pretty good price. This is very heavy. This was $7. This little pan that I got my brother for $40. That is a buku discount. Oh, and the other fun thing is they show you on here what the percent of discount is. So this is a 60% discount. They have this retailing at 99.99. I can tell you that's not an accurate price. It's probably more like 120 in the store. It's 99.99 if you could get it like on sale in a store. So for $40, that's a great deal. Same thing with these. With this set. This set was a great deal, and it's heavy. I mean, this is as heavy as all three of those big pieces together. So definitely, if you're in the area, you might want to check this out tomorrow because the sale goes on today and tomorrow it continues. So I highly recommend checking it out if you are in the Philadelphia area, or if you can get here tomorrow morning. You really can pick up some bargains. And there may even be some more bargains tomorrow. I know with the Rosenthal Sambonet, the last day they discount things even more. They didn't the last sale, but they usually discount it an additional 40% off of the already discounted prices. Okay, bye, Kitchen Kings and Queens. We'll see probably this week, maybe tomorrow. We will have a Southwest chicken bake that I kind of am coming up with the idea for. So we'll take a look at that and put that together.